so much for watching Crosswalk Live tonight on YouTube. I am joined tonight by three incredible people. Let's give it up, everybody, for Mitchell. Woo! And we have some students joining us as well. Give it up for Liam and Reese, everybody.
Hello.
Hey. What's up? What's up? So, guys, tell me, Liam, what have you been up to over the last few months since, we hadn't had school? It's been crazy.
Just been just chilling at my house, and then got full practice in the mornings now. Something interesting to do. So that's about it.
Chilling, huh?
Just chilling.
How much sleep are you getting? I'm getting a little personal. Like, are you sleeping all day and staying awake all night? That's like the normal schedule.
Well, I mean, I know my parents are watching this, so I get a good 8 hours of sleep.
I bet you do.
Liar.
All right, Reese, what have you been up to over the last few months? Let everybody know.
Not much. I guess I'm really, I'm teaching myself how to do different things. So, I'm teaching myself how to play keyboard currently.
Wow.
And, yeah, so that's...
Speaking of keyboard, we were wondering earlier, if you could play the keyboard, can you play the keytar?
I don't know.
Do you even know what a keytar is?
Me? Yes, sir.
Mitchell, have you ever played a keytar?
Once or twice. I dabble a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, it would only make sense that if you can play keyboard, you should be able to play keytar, right?
I would think. I think a keytar is like next level keyboard.
Yeah. It's like Guitar Hero.
Yes.
Real guitar. Keyboard, keytar.
Yes.
Same thing.
All right. Well, enough of this frivolous debate. Hey, we do have a couple of announcements we want to get to tonight. First of all, this Sunday morning, we do have in-person church for the whole family at our main worship center at the main building at 10:30 in the morning. Now, if you want to be a part of that, you have to make reservations. You can do that for yourself if you're a student, but you can also get your folks to make reservations for your whole family. It literally takes 30 seconds. We will send you the link to click on to make those reservations tomorrow through Remind. So be looking for that. We want to see you guys back. It's time to start gathering again, and we're doing it safely, wearing masks, social distancing. And then, when the service gets close to full, we let everybody know. But right now, we have not been full. So we got room for you. You should come this Sunday, 10:30. And for our next announcement, I'm going to throw it to Mitchell.
Yeah. So next announcement is Sunday night, we're having church again. Show up Sunday morning at 10:30, just like Brandon said, and then we want you to come to Ignite in the gym Sunday night. We're asking that everybody wears masks because we're going to be pretty close, but we're going to sit around and we're going to listen to some music. We're going to sing a little bit, and we're going to have really good discussion, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. If you haven't been there the last couple of weeks, we've done it 3 weeks in a row now, and it's been awesome. We've been knocking it out of the park, guys, and we want y'all there. Brandon's unfortunately not going to be there this week. He's moving Cade into college.
Yes.
Scary because coronavirus. But, Cade's moving back into college and Brandon's going with him. So we're going to have a blast anyway. And we want to see you guys at Ignite Sunday night. So be there.
Yes, I am really sad I'm not going to be there Sunday night. Mitchell's going to be teaching you guys, and it is going to be awesome. I know you will want to be there for that. All right. If Vincent, you could put me on camera, I need to make a very, very, very important announcement. And if I don't, I'm going to be in trouble. Well, actually, she wouldn't mind if I didn't make it. But today, 25 years ago today, Christy said I do to me, and I said I do to her. It was so cool. We got married, y'all. So today's our 25th anniversary. Now, I'm really clapping not so much for me, but for her for putting up for me. But, hon, if you're watching, I love you. Happy 25th. Yeah, there we were. Hey, there we were. Look like little babies or something. Somebody called us today when I posted it on social media. But, hey, here's the crazy thing. Today is also Christy's birthday. Yeah. Wow. I'm not going to tell you what year that is. But I will say this.
Got to be 23, right?
Yeah, we'll go with that. We can't even invert that, Mitchell, and make it 30. Anyway, okay, I'm in trouble.
Oh, no.
So here's the thing, though. People say, why did you get married to your wife on her birthday? It's because that was the only Saturday that year where her dad said we could do it. He said, I'm working every Saturday. So I had to do what the future father-in-law told me. So that's what I did. Anyway, pretty cool stuff. So anyway, happy anniversary. Happy birthday, Christy. Yay. Enough of that.
Happy birthday.
So we have a debate question. If you want to put up the graphic for us, Vincent, here's tonight's debate question. The four of us are going to debate, and you can debate at home. You can put comments in the comment section. Should pineapple be a pizza topping? You know, you go to Larry's or you go to Pizza Hut or wherever you eat pizza, and they have these pizzas now that they put fruit on, pineapple in particular. And people, I've noticed, either really think that's the best thing ever or they hate it. What say you guys?
No. Simple answer, no. Why would you
Mitchell's,
ever put pineapple on a pizza?
why do you say no, Mitchell?
Because it's disgusting. It's ungodly. I'm pretty sure in Exodus or Leviticus it says somewhere, thou shalt not put pineapple on a pizza. You know, in there where it says, you know, don't eat unclean pork or something like that.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
You know, if God says it, I'm not going to do it.
Pineapples are the bottom feeders of fruit.
This is true.
Yep.
Pineapples are just like the sad step cousin to a peach.
Yep. I gotta say, when I went to that place I don't talk about because people are sick of it, I had the best pineapple I've ever had in my life, and I don't really like pineapple, but I still can't. I'm like Mitchell. I can't go with pineapple on a pizza. It's fruit. I mean, eat the fruit. Don't mix it with the pizza.
Yeah.
There's something about tomato sauce that just doesn't go
Yes.
with pineapple.
But they say tomato's a fruit, but I don't believe that.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, all right. Enough of us. What do you guys think, Liam? Should pineapple go on a pizza? Yes or no, and why?
It's not a 0, but it's not 100 if it's on a scale. Personally, for me, pineapple has a good flavor, and if it's warmed up enough, it's kind of like soft, and it's kind of like melts, you know. But I mean, am I gonna order on a pizza every day? No. But would I order on a pizza every month or so? Sure. Why not? Try something new. Enjoy the little things, you know.
So you still haven't given us an answer. Does it belong on the pizza? Yes or no?
Yes or no? You must vote now.
Yes, it belongs on.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. In direct
Ooh.
conflict with Mitchell and myself, but that's okay. This room's big enough. It's really not big enough. It's small, but we're going to say it's big enough for different opinions. Reese?
Okay, so personally, I don't really have an opinion. I haven't had it. I've had pizza and I've had pineapple, but I have not had it together. Mainly because I don't like Canadian bacon or any type of meat other than sausage or pineapple. Not pineapple. Sausage and pepperoni. Yeah, because pineapple's a meat on pizza. See, I like pineapple itself, and so what Liam said, that it's soft when you put it on pizza, I don't think I would like that.
It's mushy.
I'm a texture person. I don't think I would handle that.
Okay,
very
I got a
well.
question. You don't like meat, but you say you eat sausage? Because that's like, what?
It's meat.
But I put meat on my pizza, like pepperoni and sausage, but I won't put ham
You
or
won't put
Canadian
beef on your
bacon.
pizza? Bacon?
Like, okay, maybe sometimes bacon, but Canadian bacon?
Beef jerky?
So it sounds to me like
Ew,
you're
why-
just a meat lover. Like you like the meat lovers pizzas, right?
Yeah, they're okay without the Canadian bacon.
All
You don't even
right.
taste it though. That's the best.
Okay,
part.
okay. Let me throw this out, and we don't have much longer on this topic because everybody's excited at home. I can feel it through the internet. Yeah. Would it make any difference if it was thick crust or thin crust?
Ooh.
Negative.
Are you Mitchell? Are you thick crust or thin
Oh
crust?
yeah, always. I want the Domino's hand tossed.
Hand tossed, kind of. Yeah,
That's the butter spot right there, baby.
kind of in the middle.
Hand tossed,
Yeah,
because it's not too thick, not too
Yeah.
thin.
just
Sometimes
right.
if it's too thick, you just get too much. You don't taste your toppings, and it's all bread. That hand tossed from Domino's though.
all right. What do you think? Thin crust, thick crust? Does it make a difference?
Thin crust is the way to go.
Wow.
It's like
Liam.
it's like nachos. You know, it's nice,
But I don't want nachos. I want
Ew.
pizza.
but it's
Yeah.
crispy though. It has a good. You can taste the toppings, and you have the little bread underneath.
Okay.
Best of both worlds.
Reese, what do you think?
Personally, for me, it depends on where. Because, like,
Oh,
Little
wow.
Caesars, their thin crust pepperoni pizza, so good. But Pizza Hut, I like to get their hand tossed because the garlic seasoning on it is so good. I personally love
The best,
So,
yeah.
it depends.
I see what your point is. I have had I don't like thin crust usually, but I like Little Caesars. I had it. Somebody ordered it once, and it was pretty good. The best pizza I've ever had in my life is Giordano's in Chicago, and it was like thick pizza. It was just 95% cheese. I mean, it was so bad for your digestive system, but we won't go there. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to go into the message. That's quite a transition, I know. We're in the middle of a series called Seasons, where we're talking about what do you do in a particular season in your life. And so I want everybody to watch this video. I promise it's not very long. I'm getting shorter and shorter every week, which everybody's happy about, including me, believe it or not. But take a minute, watch it. If you're at home, take some notes. We're going to come back at the end of this message and talk about, everybody's going to share what's your biggest takeaway. What's the thing that jumped out to you the most? What's the thing that really resonated with you? So without further ado, here's week 2 of Seasons. Hey everybody, so glad you tuned in this week. We're in week 2 of a series we're calling Seasons. And the goal of this series is to help you move forward in this current season that you're finding yourself in, and to get ready for the next season that's coming. Last week, we talked about how there's a reason for the season that we're in right now. And we talked about how there's an end to the season. It's going to end, it's going to change, and there's also work to be done within this season. Well, this week, I want to talk to you just for a few minutes about this question. What do you do when everything in your world suddenly changes? Now, we've all experienced this together right at the beginning of this pandemic. Our world completely changed. Life as we knew it ceased to exist for a while, and it was crazy. But also down the road in your life, you're going to go through times when there's unexpected things happening to you. A tragedy, sometimes an emergency. Sometimes it's a really good thing, and you've got to make a decision very quickly. It's immediately. Life can change in an instant. So what do you do when everything in your world suddenly changes and you're in a new season? Number 1, control the controllables. Now, most of the things in our life, in your life, in my life, well, they're totally out of our control, even if we think they are. However, when your world suddenly changes and you find yourself in a new season of life, one of the best things that you can do is to take control of what you can control. I call it control the controllables. There's a lot of things you can't control, but there are some things you can control. It's hard to do, but it's essential and that you learn to do it. There's 2 really key areas you need to learn to control when you go through an unexpected change, an unexpected season in life. First, you need to take control of your emotions. When things suddenly change, your emotions are going to go up. There's going to be fear, anger, sadness, worry, and those things tend to call the shots. In fact, when the emotions go up, the wisdom goes down. Okay, I want you to get that. It's hard to make good decisions whenever you're emotional. We need to take control of our emotions. It's okay to feel, and it's okay to express your feelings. Emotions aren't inherently bad, but it's not okay for feelings to call the shots. There's another area you need to control in the controllables, and that's your attitude and my attitude. Our attitude is the way we're thinking and approaching and seeing a situation. And it's really, really easy to have a bad attitude when things suddenly, unexpectedly change and we come into this new season. Our attitude affects everything. It's like putting on pink sunglasses. No matter what you look at, it's going to always be pink. It's going to color what you're looking at. Your attitude determines your perspective, students. So you need to control your emotions and your attitude and learn to control what we can control. And trust God with everything else. That's another step here. One of the best examples in the Bible of a person who chose to control what he could control and trust God with the rest is Joshua. Joshua, it was an Old Testament guy in the Old Testament. He assumed leadership after Moses, led people into the Promised Land. They conquered most of the Promised Land, and he had been a leader of armies and the people, and he's at the end of his leadership in Joshua 24. He's about to ride off into the sunset, and everybody's about to live in the land that they've conquered. Joshua commanded an army, but he knew that he couldn't really control a person's heart, right? It would be up to the people of Israel if they were going to continue to be faithful to God and love God and follow Him. So what does Joshua do? Well, he controls what he can control. Take a look here. In Joshua 24, verse 14, Joshua says to the people, "So fear the Lord and serve him wholeheartedly. Serve the Lord alone." And here's the good part. "But if you refuse to serve the Lord alone, then choose today who you will serve. But as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord." Did you catch that? You guys do what you're going to do. I hope you choose the right thing. I can't control it. I can encourage you, but as far as what we can do, what I can do, what I can control, my family, me, myself, I, us, we are going to serve the Lord. It's important that when your world changes and you find yourself in an unexpected season of life, that you control what you can control and trust God with everything else. Here's a second thing to do. Learn to be content. Be content in your circumstances. Notice I didn't say be content with your circumstances. When you're content with your circumstances, that's called status quo. Status quo is Latin for the mess that we find ourselves in. When you are just content with your life, that's coasting. We're talking about things aren't good, things are changing, and I'm a little nervous, but I'm going to choose within my circumstances to be content. You've got to learn it. And so I'm going to say it again, there's a difference between being content with your circumstances, that's the status quo, and being content within your circumstances, that takes faith. The Apostle Paul was put in jail because of his faith, and he wrote the letter Philippians while he was in jail. And you would think the tone of Philippians would be anger, sadness, depression, bitterness, but it is the exact opposite. The theme of Philippians is joy. Paul talks about joy over and over and over again. And he shares with us the secret in finding joy in the midst of a bad season in life. In Philippians chapter 4, verses 11 through 13, Paul says, "For I have learned how to be content with whatever I have." Did you catch that? He had to learn it. "I've learned how to live on almost nothing or with everything. I've learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it is with a full stomach or empty, with plenty or little. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me the strength I need." See, Paul had learned the secret within every situation, regardless of whether it was a good season or a not so good season. His secret is something you and I can learn. He learned to be content. Contentment recognizes that Jesus is enough. No matter what your life is like, in the midst of it, Jesus is enough. During difficult seasons, He's enough. When you seem to have everything, Jesus is still enough. Contentment is only achieved when we learn to trust God and God's Word in spite of what's happening to us and going on in our lives. The secret to joy is in unexpected seasons is contentment in Christ. Paul had learned how to be content in difficult situations. And students, you can too. It's something that you have to learn. It's part of growing and maturing in Christ. The secret is choosing to trust Christ within your season. And here's the last thing that I want to encourage you to do when things change in your life and you find yourself in an unexpected season. And we've already kind of alluded to it. Number 3, focus on Christ. Now, that is the most churchy thing I could possibly say. Jesus is the answer for every churchy question, right? But here's the truth of this. This is the most important thing I'm saying tonight. It should be your number one thing you do. You and I need to learn to focus on Jesus. Why? Because Jesus never changes. Whenever your world is turned upside down and you find yourself in a new season of life and things are just different and everything seems to be completely different in your life and up and down and all that, well, Jesus never changes. And so when things change, focus on what doesn't change, Jesus and His love for you. Sailors for centuries, well before GPS and compasses and technology, sailors were able to sail their ships into unknown waters because they used the stars at night to guide them. And there's one particular star that helped them the most. It's the Northern Star, Polaris. In the Northern Hemisphere, the Northern Star provides a stable marker to follow because it remains in one spot in the sky at all times. And many sailors would hold their arms out, looking at the Northern Star, and they would measure their fingers, and they would use that star to guide them and know where they needed to sail, because the star, where it was in the sky, was basically equal to the latitude where they were. And so sailors could determine where they were based on the position of that fixed star in the sky. Students, Jesus is your Northern Star. no matter what waters you're finding yourself sailing in, no matter what season you're in, He is your rock. He is your northern star. He's your compass. The writer of Hebrews put it this way, one of my favorite verses in the Bible, Hebrews 13:8, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. What does that mean? Jesus never changes, because your life is going to change. Seasons come, seasons go, but Jesus never changes. And Jesus wants you to change. So how do we do it? We keep our eyes fixed on Jesus in unexpected seasons in your life. And if you do, you will go through the season and stay on course. Students, it's a daily decision to keep your focus on Christ. And you can do that by developing spiritual habits like reading your Bible every day if possible, and spending time praying every day. Being in a community with other believers, that helps you and me to stay focused on Christ and help Him in making Him our priority, because He never changes. He is your constant, and His love for you never changes either. Students, thanks for watching tonight. I hope this message has been helpful when you're thinking about going through unexpected seasons in life. If you've got any questions about tonight's message, or any questions about Jesus and how to have a personal relationship with Him, I hope you'll text me or call me at the number you see on the screen. We'd love to see you and your family at church this Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. at the FBC main building. If you would like to be a part of that, be sure to make your reservations before Friday at noon. We're going to send you the link to register tomorrow through Remind, so be looking for that. And we're also meeting again this Sunday night at 7 p.m. We're calling it Ignite. We want you to come and be a part of it. We're meeting in the gym. Mitchell is going to be leading this Sunday night, so it's going to be good. We hope to see you then. Until then, keep your eyes fixed on Christ. I love you guys. God bless. Okay. I know that was a lot of information, but we're going to talk about biggest takeaways from that message. We'll start with, Liam. What was your biggest takeaway? What jumped out to you?
Biggest takeaway for me was control the controllables, your emotions and your attitude. Because when someone goes through a situation that is new to them, the best thing is to go in with a good attitude. And if you go with a bad attitude, you're going to have a negative experience. You're not going to have much focus. You're not going to be wanting to complete or get through it in a good attitude. And your emotions, your emotions are what people see. So like if you're happy, people see you smile. If you're sad, people see you down. And so it displays how you feel about it. And it's going through something new, being happy it's a strong emotion to have, because if you're going happy, you're inspiring other people to get through it the same way you are, because you're in a good mood.
It's really, really hard when you're going through a tough time to not let the emotions take over. I mean, it's just human nature. And that statement that I shared with you guys, when the emotions go up, the wisdom goes down. It's not new to me. It didn't come from me. I learned it from somebody else. It's really hard to make really good decisions when you're emotional. People that go through a close death, counselors will tell people over and over, do not make big decisions right now. You're grieving, anyway, but that's good. Thank you, Liam, for sharing that. What about you, Reese? What's your biggest takeaway?
Okay, so I can never choose just one, so
Okay.
bear with me. I have
right.
two. So the first one I have is what you said, that Paul learned joy. He learned in his hard times there is contentment. You can have joy in the suffering. I mean, Paul has a testimony of choosing joy and being joyful and having this life. And so if you can see that Paul took everything that he had and just turned it and made it into joy, if Paul can do that, why can't I? The things that I go through are so different than what Paul had, but still he chose joy. He learned to be content and trust God with everything. So along with that is the secret to joy is contentment in Christ. That's trusting God. That's letting Him lead your life and just really show Himself to you. And I think that if you will let him in your life and you trust him, then he will show you joy. He will show you so many things within your life. And that's something personally that I need to do. I really like to be in control over everything in my life. And that's something that you can't do as a Christian. Yes, I have been saved and been baptized, but still I have to let go of my ropes. And that's something I think everybody does, that everybody has to do. Then my second point, so those were kind of together. Then my second, the biggest thing.
Hang on before you get to the second
Okay.
one. Okay, so I think if the pandemic has showed us anything, it showed us that we have very little control over anything. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes.
And so, we think, I can do something, but we really, really can't. So, so I think that's something to think about, but there are things we can control. And usually those are the things we choose not to control.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just
you're fine.
wanted to, go ahead. Your second point is what? What was the other big thing?
So mine's kind of geeky. I love stars. I have sky view on my phone, so we'll go outside and look at the stars, and I'll look and tell you where all the stars are and everything like that. And so I'm really used to knowing all about the stars. And so what you said, Jesus is our North Star, that's something that's so, it just kind of hit me, because though I love stars, and yes, they are put in place by God, and he knows their name and where they are, but still it never really registered to me that this one star was so significant to so many people for so long, and it led their life, and that Jesus is that star for us. He is that star. And who am I to say, oh, well, you're not the north, you're actually the other way, and so I'm going to go the way that I think is right. That's just not realistic, And as a Christian, we're supposed to follow the North Star, and that's saying we're supposed to follow Jesus. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I guess it's my turn. Well, I had two good takeaways, and Reese decided to just go ahead and steal both of them.
Hey, he had my other one.
That's the only way you get one.
I'm sorry.
But, I'll just kind of elaborate on what Reese said, because those were both two things that stuck out to me as well. The first thing was really about contentment, because I feel like right now, none of us, to be completely honest, are content in the spot we're in.
Right.
Everybody, no matter who you are or what race you are, what age you are, anything, everybody is kind of sick and tired of the situation that we're in right now. Nobody wants to wear a mask. Nobody wants to have to be socially distant. Nobody wants to have to do all these things. Everybody, that's all you hear on the news, on social media, all you hear from anybody is, I'm just ready for this to be over with. I'm just ready for this to be over with. And I'll be honest, I'm ready for it to be over with too, but at the same time, whenever we dwell on that and make that the primary driving force behind everything that we do, we're not accomplishing anything, and really we're just bringing ourselves and bringing others down. And that kind of goes to the point that Reese was talking about choosing joy. I feel like so often we choose to complain about the things that we can't necessarily control. This goes along with both of what they said. We can control, essentially, choosing joy. We can control our attitude. And if I just want to sit here and tell myself I'm going to have a bad attitude about X, Y, or Z, then there's really no good coming from that. That was one huge thing that stuck out to me about being content in the situation that we have right now, and not just looking at all the negatives, because it's really easy to look at the negatives right now, and it's really easy to just kind of sit here and complain and not be content in the situation that we're in, because sometimes it does kind of suck. But that's when you have to realize that we have a greater hope and a greater joy in Jesus, and that our current situation is not going to be our situation forever.
Right.
That's my piece.
Man, that's good. Thanks for sharing, Mitchell. Next week, we're going to be looking at how God will do something in one season and prepare you for the next season. And typically, that preparation in the current season is not fun, and it is painful. And you feel what Mitchell was saying. Yeah, I'm just ready for something, to be different. And we all collectively are in that with COVID. We are so over 2020. We're ready for something new, to the page to turn, but we still got some time, unfortunately, and some things to go through. But anyway, well, we could talk a little bit more about this, but I think we're going to kind of wrap things up. Biggest thing, I guess before we go, I think Liam, I know you and Reese have both been to Ignite on Sunday nights. Why don't you tell everybody? I'm not saying you have to brag or whatever, but because there's, but just what's it like? And there's some good and probably a little weird, but what's it like on Sunday nights?
Okay. Sorry. I'll go first. Personally, I love it. I think it's a really good way not only just to worship God and to seek Him, but to go see people. That's one thing that I love that we've gotten back to doing, is at least just being able to see our peers and just talk about what's going on and talk about how much God has influenced us in this time and how much He has used us and how much we are learning. And I think the lessons have been really good. Worship's been good. Shout out to Isaac. You're doing great. I think everything's just been, I don't know, it's been really moving. I do think that there's a presence in that room that's just really cool to experience. And after so long of not having anything like that, I mean, the last time I was in church was in February because I left to go on a trip. So I was gone before everybody else was, and it was hard. I mean, it's gotten so hard for everybody, and I'm so sorry for the ones that can't make it because of COVID and all of that. But if you can, I strongly encourage you to come. It's something that you do not want to miss.
Come to Ignite.
Yes.
Ignite is it's exactly what Reese said. It's good to see other people, and it's good to hear what other people are going through, and just to hear other stories and know that you're not alone through this pandemic. But besides seeing other people, it's good to get back in a churchly body and just to be together. And worship is really good. Shout out to Isaac. You're doing your thing. Go with it. But it's I'm not gonna lie, it's not Crosswalk. I miss Crosswalk, but it's for where we're at right now. Sorry about that. It's what we need. It's a good place to be for a church body. But
Come to Ignite.
Come to Ignite.
Yes.
I kind of think of it like, when you're camping and you're trying to start a fire, what do? You ignite the fire. You get kindling, and it's the small fire before the big fire. I kind of feel like that's what this is. It's, we're easing back into things, and God's about to do something really, really cool. And He's starting something, and it's His deal. And so this is just step one. It's not the end all. It's not going to always be like this, but it's one way together. And so if you're in town Sunday night, please come. If you don't have a chair, we've been telling you to bring chairs. You can use a church folding chair. It won't be as comfortable if you bring one of those really cool camping chairs, but come be here tonight. I think gathering together is just a big, big, big thing. Anything else, Mitchell, you want to say about Sunday night?
Come to Ignite. No, I'm kidding. It's gonna be really awesome this week. I'm excited about it. We're gonna dig in and we're gonna ignite things. But always remember, before you go to bed tonight, we didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world been turning.
Shout out.
That.
Yeah, Billy Joe.
Ryan started the fire. For all you Office fans.
Yes, Ryan did start the fire.
Ryan started. I'm sorry.
All right. On that note, we will say good night. Thank you so much for watching. Keep reaching out to folks, and let's all show up Sunday night and be together so we can worship Jesus. I love you guys. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.